Hello everybody. This video is cautioning all men to avoid nightclubs and how the whole thing is manipulated. Likewise, how men, regardless of where they live, ought to blacklist them generally together. I have been into nightclubs for more than 5 years. However, I haven't pondered the elements of male-female relations in clubs for basically 10 years. What's more, I need to concur with you that dance clubs are ludicrous. Before you enter the club, there's typically a setup outside, yet when you at long last get inside, it's normally empty. The thought is for the proprietors, advertisers, and the bouncers to make the deception of counterfeit shortage and to make the feeling that once you get inside, there are lots of individuals living it up. Outside the clubs, there are many times lots of individuals clamoring to get inside. That is the reason these lineups are there at the lead position. Now that it's the colder time of year here in Canada, in our club area, you see many ladies conquering the chilly climate in just short miniskirts and super high heels to get into the clubs. Frankly, I never really thought about this. I generally saw these ladies in a real sense freezing almost to death and pondered internally. In any case, now that I see people distinctively subsequent to taking the red pill, I need to take a gander at this once more. I'll begin with the high heels ladies wear when they go to clubs. The majority of us have heard that high heels make ladies more appealing on the grounds that they complement their legs, make their legs look slenderer, and cause them to look hotter. In any case, high heels likewise change a man's way of behaving. High impact points are the female footwear of decision in the club climate. Flats might be extremely popular these days, however, a provocative new review from France found that high heels improve at assisting ladies with getting what they need from men. In one examination, a lady remained in the city and asked bystanders to finish an overview. At the point when the lady was wearing flats, 25 out of the 60 men that moved toward her, or 42%, consented to respite and take the review. Be that as it may, when the lady wore 2-inch heels, 36 out of the 60 men, or 60%, consented to take a same review. That number spiked to 49 out of 60 men, approximately 82% when ladies wore 4-inch heels. Presently, I see high heels as in test since they take men and subliminally change our way of behaving to be more useful to ladies. In doing as such, a man is bound to turn into a mangina. Yet in the event that a man stays one of those 18% of men that aren't exceptionally useful to ladies while they're wearing those high heels, then that person has essentially breezed through this test assessments. So the next time you see a lady in really high stiletto heels arranged beyond a club, or even within a club, realize that those shoes will make 82% of men more supportive for that lady. By being more accommodating, this is likely a request to make us more supportive and get them drinks, cover the food bill or jug administration. Yet isn't this unexpected on the grounds that simultaneously high heels should be the image of severe male-centric society? How could high heel shoes that control men to be really giving to ladies be viewed as bad? And for what reason do you suppose ladies are fixated on shoes? They frequently have handfuls or even many sets of shoes in light of the power that those shoes give them over men. I can really do a whole video on ladies' footwear and will likely destroy one in the future. However, the issue of shoes goes further than simply squandering cash on them. That is typically the way that men see it. Everything revolves around power and status with all kinds of people concerning clubbing. I recall my last club experience where I went out with ladies wearing level shoes and jeans rather than high heel shoes and miniskirts. They were disregarded by the bouncers again and again. Higher heels are likewise bound to cause ladies to appear weaker beyond the club, and subsequently bouncers are bound to give them access on the grounds that the shoes turn on their regular defensive senses. The equivalent goes for ladies that are dressed provocatively in a club when it's 20 degrees outside. A judicious lady wouldn't do this except if it serves her well-being. Dressing into a club seeming helpless, and in this manner stand out from men while they stroll past the club. Thus, they're bound to arrange to that club on the grounds that their sense is to safeguard those unfortunate elderly people ladies shuddering together, standing exposed in the road in their 4-inch heels. Also, when they get into the club, they're undeniably bound to get them drinks too to warm them up. So you see, choosing to purchase a lady a beverage in a bar club starts a long time before you enter that club. Ladies are enticing individuals for their assets beyond clubs, and when the two of them get inside, the man's sensations of compassion have proactively been mixed and animated, so he's bound to give her what she needs. At the point when I initially began going out to clubs, I was 15 years of age and begun going to all ages occasions. These occasions didn't serve liquor except if you were north of 19 years, and these occasions were loaded up with folks going from 14 to their late 20s. The vast majority of the young ladies in these clubs were 14 to 18 years old. Back in the 90s, the legitimate time of ascent in Canada was 14. So you could be a person in his mid to late 20s getting 14 or 15-year-olds to lay down with, and it would be completely lawful in this nation in those days. Be that as it may, the time of ascent today has been raised to 16, and I didn't understand this when I was growing up. At the point when I got into my early 20s, I couldn't have cared less about club culture any longer. What I might have been doing in my 20s was going up to all ages clubs and getting along with adolescent young ladies that had been riding the merry-go-round for a long time. A large portion of those young ladies were still extremely youthful and gullible, and presumably as pleasant as they could at any point accompany respects to their physical and mental states. All things considered, I decided to get into relationships as opposed to exploring every available opportunity. The fantasy that the age of 18 was the legitimate period of ascent in Canada was exceptionally predominant in those days, since we grew up watching American movies where old men laying down with young ladies under 18 went to prison. They ought to have shown us this back when we were in secondary school, yet when I was in my early 20s, clubs lost their shine for me since young ladies anticipate that you should buy drinks for them. In the event that you didn't, more seasoned folks would, and you would fundamentally be going through the night alone. What's more, when ladies begin seeing men as drink distributors and assets, the club climate goes from being one of equality to being one where ladies exploit and men are taken advantage of. You are a lady's pass to living it up. For ladies, this is impeccably socially satisfactory way of behaving. As a group, ladies frequently pool their social assets together while controlling bouncers and different men. So they get more admittance to select clubs, and I've seen this firsthand. It's frequently nauseating. When you get into a club, ladies frequently exploit the men inside by inspiring them to purchase drinks. They get the free affirmation from the bouncer companions, and afterward they get free beverages and consideration from men inside. In the event that that is insufficient motivation to avoid ladies that go clubbing, then I don't have any idea what is. What's miserable for most men going to clubs in the West is that they frequently nurture a couple of beverages the whole evening so they can stand to purchase drinks for ladies. A few people drink before they go out while they're still at home. That way they can stand to become inebriated when they go out, as well as pay for drinks for them and for the ladies that they need. Assuming you're pondering beginning your own club or advancing a current one, don't for even a moment trouble. The couple of club advertisers I knew would lose cash. The main way they would equal the initial investment, as though they were offering medications to club benefactors. Clubs dislike club where the house generally wins. All things considered, it generally is by all accounts the ladies that are victors, and every other person either misfortunes or equals the initial investment. Gratitude for taking your everyday portion of red pills. So partake in the remainder of your day, and good wishes.